Júlia de Bem com a Vida is at Web Summit where everything happens. We are with Gesche Haas, the founder of Dreamers and Doors. Can you tell us about your experience? How did you launch the Dreamers?
Dreamers and Doers started by accident out of a personal need. So I didn't go out and think I wanted to start this company. But what happened was I was working on my very first company. And if you're a man or a woman, it's very hard starting something of your own. So as I was doing that, I was recognizing that I really needed a support system. And I joined forces with other entrepreneurial women. And then a few women, like 10 women, grew to 20 women, grew to a few hundred, grew to a few thousand women. And then I decided I couldn't work on my other company, but I had to make Dreamers and Doers my full-time company.
Dreamers and Doors helps making dreams true. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct. And we specifically focus on women. So our mission is to increase the number of successful ventures launched by women. And we do this by making it efficient and easy for women to support each other as a resource and source of inspiration. Because you can imagine, if you're starting your company, you're doing so many things for the first time, so much is at risk, so you need all the support you can get.
Which are the main challenges for new women?
I think the number one part that a lot of people don't talk about is believing in yourself and believing in your idea. Because that early on, you're creating something from nothing. And oftentimes you don't live a very balanced life. You're working so much. So one, just believing when it's really hard to not believe. And then figuring out how to do a lot of things that you've never done before.
A man who doesn't help is busy. A woman who doesn't help is selfish. Is that right? You quote this phrase at an article in an interview. Is that right?
Yes. So oftentimes women and men get judged for different reasons. So if oftentimes people directly attack a woman and her personality, and it's different for men. And so I think that it can work out in many different ways. So sometimes we view men in a more negative way in the different areas of life. But it's important to understand that there just are differences. And because these differences exist, that we don't necessarily all need to fit a certain mold. So everyone always thinks like, oh, if to be a successful founder, I have to be like a man. So I think maybe some people just naturally are like more aggressive, and that's perfectly fine. But I think you can also be very successful not going that path. And if people do judge you, I think that just changes over time, where like people will always do that, but we can't let that stop us, right? And also we do that ourselves too. So the moment you think you're a victim and people are doing that because they're mean, that's never going to work out. So just understanding that just how human society and our brains work, and we also do the same thing, and then finding ways to like just dealing with it rather than just pointing fingers. And I do think the more we succeed as women, that's like the best way to solve it. The more we succeed as women, the less this will happen. And succeeding our way, if it's aggressive or not aggressive, but just owning it.
Gesche, Haas, Dreamers, Júlia de Bem com a Vida.